If you want to start making money editing in 30 days, you only need to focus on the 4 things that actually matter. And none of them are as complicated as you think. When I started, I wasted a lot of time studying things that didn't generate a single cent in return. And what I see most today are beginner editors doing exactly that, consuming a ton of content, learning effects they'll never use, studying theory that doesn't pay the bills, and ignoring what actually brings in cash. If you want to become a professional editor fast, and when I say professional, I'm talking about making money, not becoming Spielberg, the path is much simpler. And that's why I always summarize the process into 4 pillars. 4. That's it. It's the bare minimum you need to go from 0 to having clients on your roster. First thing, learn to edit the right way at the right time. Let's start with the obvious. You need to learn how to edit. But here's a point almost no beginner understands. How you learn is totally irrelevant. Expensive courses, YouTube tutorials, workshops, mentors, they can all work. The only thing that actually makes a difference is the volume of practice. I see a lot of people stuck on, which course should I take? Which software is better? How many effects do I need to master? You know what I tell them? No client hires you based on the number of tutorials you've watched. They hire you for the quality of what you deliver. And quality comes from a very simple formula. Learn, plus apply, plus repeat until you're tired. When you practice, you internalize it. When you internalize it, you edit faster. And when you edit faster, you deliver more. And more clients want to work with you. It is literally a snowball effect. And I'm not exaggerating when I say you can learn the basics of editing in a week if you actually practice. But here's the kicker. What really makes you evolve isn't learning a cool effect. It's learning workflow, storytelling, maintaining pacing, cutting well, using the right music, knowing when not to overdo it. That is what the client pays for. That is what makes you look professional, even if you're a beginner. Second thing, create a portfolio that sells without being perfect. After a few days of practicing, you'll already have enough material to put together your first portfolio. And I know a lot of people freeze here because they think they need real jobs to build a real portfolio. You don't. You can use practice videos, personal edits, reels and shorts you recreated, podcast clips you practiced on, compilations of stock footage. The client doesn't care if it was a paid job. They care if you know how to deliver. And an important point, a portfolio isn't a catalog, it's a showcase. You don't need to upload 40 videos. You need 5 good examples that represent your style and your capability. And where do you put this portfolio? The simplest place is always the best. Google Drive, an organized folder with 5 videos, an Instagram account exclusively for editing, or even TikTok showing your own edits. What matters here is speed. If you take 2 months to build a perfect portfolio, you lose 2 months of opportunity. And before we get into the getting clients part, which is where most people get stuck and where monetization actually begins, I left my ebook in the description. It complements this initial phase perfectly. How to build a quick portfolio, what to include, what to avoid, and how to turn that into a simple funnel to attract your first clients. If you're feeling lost at this stage, it fits perfectly with what we just talked about. Third thing, approach clients in the simplest and most efficient way possible. Now, for the real deal, the part that turns all of this into money. What separates an editor who makes money from an editor who just edits as a hobby is the ability to get clients. And there's no mystery. You need to talk to people. I know outreach is scary, but think about it. Everyone you admire in editing today is only where they are because they reached out to people when nobody knew who they were. And if you want to start fast, the easiest path is freelance platforms plus direct outreach via email or Instagram. You start with clear goals. 10 outreaches a day. Short messages, portfolio in the link. Explain how you can help, not who you are. Simple outreach example. Hey, how's it going? I took a look at your content and whipped up an example of how I could improve the pacing and make your videos more dynamic. Can I send it over? This works because it's direct and solves a real problem. The truth is harsh but liberating. You don't need to be the best editor on the platform. You just need to be the clearest, the fastest to reply, and the most reliable. Fourth thing, build relationships. This is the pillar that separates those making $200 from those making $2,000. Clients don't leave reliable editors. And a reliable editor isn't the most talented one, it's the most consistent one. Relationship means replying fast, hitting deadlines, understanding the client's style, making revisions easy, not being difficult to deal with, keeping communication clear and simple. When you do this, you create something much more valuable than a job. You create recurring work. And with 3 to 4 recurring clients, your income becomes predictable. When your income becomes predictable, you become a professional. And when you become a professional, you grow naturally through referrals. And referrals are the gold standard of this market. Bonus, create content, passive and strategic. This is optional at the start, but extremely powerful. Creating content about editing, or even just posting your own edits, works as a portfolio, social proof, and client funnel all at the same time. And when you combine this with good relationships, it becomes an opportunity machine. So that's it. If you focus on these 4 pillars, learning, creating a portfolio, approaching clients, and building relationships, 30 days is more than enough to start making money with editing. The problem is that most people overcomplicate it, get lost along the way, and give up before seeing results. If you do the simple things, do them well, and do them consistently, you'll enter the market much faster than you imagine. Now, just go apply it.